So we have Cobra with us. Check out his channel, KobraToldYa. I'm going to go ahead and link that down in the description. You've had it 5 months. You mentioned that you've never had a truck before.
Well, I had a small Mazda pickup in college for about 2 weeks before I left it at the bank parking lot. But no, this will be my first truck other than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. When did you reserve yours?
I reserved it the morning after the unveiling.
Okay.
So that night I fell in love with it.
Okay.
And I had to sleep on it for some reason.
Okay.
And I ordered it the first thing next morning.
So we have two opposite stories with that. So I was watching it live. When they drove the Cybertruck onto the stage, I was pissed off. I didn't like it.
You're one of those people.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I was legitimately like, I wanted to throw my computer. Like, because I was really excited about Tesla coming out with the pickup truck, because I've had other cars, sedans, but I always go back to a truck. So I've had Rams, I've had Silverados, I've just had a bunch of different trucks. Every time I get rid of a truck, because I go, man, I want the speed, I want a car, I want a sports car, I want this. I go back to a car, and then 3-4 years later, I go back to a truck because I'm like, no, I need a truck. Like I miss not having a truck. So when I seen the Cybertruck at the unveiling, I was upset, but I still reserved one because I was just like, I'm just gonna reserve it.
So were you anticipating a Model Y kind of look in the front, and then
I think what I was anticipating was a more rounded out, like Chevy. I don't know why.
So just a more traditional truck,
traditional,
electric,
exactly.
And Tesla.
Yeah, just with a little flair.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting what they did, but I reserved it anyway. I actually reserved because they were having troubles right when they opened up reservations. I actually got like 4 or 5 reservations.
So what made you reserve it then?
So I just wanted it because So what I always tell people is I wanted an electric truck.
Oh, that's terrible. I want it.
Yeah. That's really what I was.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. We had totally different opposite stories. You loved it, but still wanted to sleep on it. I hated it, but reserved it immediately.
Right.
So that's just interesting.
So for me, I had a Chevy Bolt. I leased it in 2017. And I leased it for 3 years to just see if I can live the electric vehicle life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I wasn't interested in a Model 3 because at that time it was all rumors. It wasn't too much information about it, so I wasn't going to just go out and put a deposit down back then, you know, without even test driving.
Yeah.
You know, that old antiquated mentality.
Yeah.
So when I saw that unveiling, that's when Tesla was on my radar. So I mean, I'm a huge Back to the Future fan.
Okay.
So the stainless steel.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
The DeLorean.
Right. It looks different. Yes. You know what I mean? It's tough. Everything Tesla, right? And after that, I started doing more research, and that's when we got into Tesla. So I started getting my Teslas after the Cybertruck was on my radar.
Interesting.
And as far as wanting a truck, I'm the kind of guy that will hit you up and say, hey, can I borrow your truck to move this couch? Yada, yada, yada. I had a Nissan Armada, which you can carry a lot. It has a lot of storage capacity.
A bigger SUV.
It is, but it still wasn't a truck, you know?
Yeah.
We would take it camping, things of that nature, but, having a truck is having a truck, and that's the American dream, right?
Yeah.
So I've always wanted a truck. I was just waiting for the right truck, and this was it.
And you mentioned that your YouTube channel, KobraToldYa, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. You started off in tech.
Yes.
And then slowly, you still dabble in the tech, but you slowly converted over to main content is Tesla.
So it was an easy transition. If you're a technology geek, you would be interested in Tesla because that's what it is.
Yeah.
When people joke and say it's an iPad on wheels, a computer on wheels, they're not too wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, just all the tech involved, it really intrigued me. It got me excited. Like I said, my Chevy Bolt was a good transition into EVs, but it felt like a traditional vehicle, a regular OEM ICE vehicle. And that's what I liked about Tesla. It was so different, And the more Tesla content I started to do, it was more engaging. I started getting more views, more subscribers. I was like, and I still, like you said, I would dabble in tech, but it just wasn't hitting the same. And it wasn't as exciting as, the different Tesla content.
Yeah. And everything you can do with a car.
Oh, yeah. So many different things you could do.
So going back a little bit, you reserved the Cybertruck. That then got you into Tesla.
Yep.
So then what was your first Tesla?
2020 Model X, because my Armada was on its last legs.
Okay.
And we needed a big 7-seater.
Okay.
The Armada was an 8-seater, but you know they didn't have any EV that size, so we needed a 7-seater, and the Model X was right there. So we went and test drove it, and instantly fell in love. Instantly, and that's what to this day I still tell people: say, hey, you know what? Don't test drive a Tesla unless you're ready to get it, because you will. You'll fall in love. I think so. And the safety features, the safety ratings, and all that. You know, you care about your family, all that. You know, that's all. Those are all selling points. And you know, the Model X replaced my Armada.
Nice. So you just went straight to the top.
I mean,
you just went. You know what? I'm not getting in with a 3 or a. Well, I don't even think the Ys were out yet, right? Or
it was a need. I needed the biggest at the time.
One.
You know, the Y just came out or was coming out, and
I love the X. That's
oh yeah.
If it wasn't for me getting the Cybertruck, that was the car. That was the Tesla I wanted. Because I've had a 3 and then I've had an S, but I wanted an X. I just never got an X for whatever reason.
And it didn't hurt that. Remember, I'm a DeLorean Back to the Future fan. We got the doors.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, you combine this and the X, I got my DeLorean.
You got your DeLorean, exactly. And that's what I always tell people, that's the way I looked at the Cybertruck, is that this is the new age DeLorean, in my opinion. It's that crazy futuristic vehicle that everybody's hating on, going, what are they doing?
Right.
But it's so out there that it's cool.
Right.
So let's get into the Cybertruck. So now you've owned it for 5 months. What are some things that you don't like about it?
Don't like.
Yeah.
So this is from personal experience.
Yep.
I don't like all the issues that I've had. If you've seen any of my other videos, I have a video entitled 99 Problems. I didn't have 99 problems, but it feels like it, right?
Yeah.
I've been to the service center 4 times. The good thing is they fixed everything I had a problem with, you know? Yeah. But it's just the inconvenience of going to the service center. And then, you know, people you know, and I'm not even talking about the YouTube comments because, you know, I post a video, I put it out there. Of course, people won't come at it. Yeah. But the people you know who say things like, oh, man, you know, I heard that truck is this, I heard that truck is that. Oh, it's in the service center again at work. You know, where's the truck? Get back in the service center. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Right?
Don't go through a car wash.
No, don't go through the car wash. Oh, so many things, you know what I mean? But that's probably the biggest issue I've had. And still, you know, little things here and there. You heard my door was creaking a little bit, right? Yeah. So I tried to tighten it myself, but I'm gonna take it in. Yeah. But just that's probably the biggest issue. The next thing is, was the fingerprints. Now I thought like it wouldn't bother me at first, and it may not bother some people out there. Yeah. But when you have kids, right, and they're always touching it, and then random people touching it, and then you're cleaning it, and then you know, for a week I just let it go. I said, you know, I'm not worrying about it. Let's see what happens. And it killed me. It killed me. So, you know, that's why I had to put the wrap on it, man. But
and you know, it's funny because I had mine for less than 24 hours, and I went, I can't do this with the fingerprints. And I ran it to Mike's tint shop and had it wrapped because I just go, I just couldn't do it.
No.
My kids were touching it, and you know, my family, everybody I was showing it to, you know, they're naturally just touching it. Fingerprints everywhere. I couldn't do it. I went, OCD kicked in, and I go, no, I'm just gonna get wrapped and be done with it. But I will say this, I kind of miss the stainless steel.
I kind of do too. Yeah, and I only had to wrap off for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I kind of, whenever I saw a guy this morning, and it was brand new. He doesn't even have the plates on there yet. Stainless steel, and I looked at that, and it's shining, and it's, you know, you see fingerprints, and the one panel is kind of a different shade than the other panel, and I went, kind of miss that.
It gives it character, you know?
Industrial look.
It gives it character, and I do miss it. And the good thing about having a wrap, you can always take it off, you know? Yeah. But, you know, and it's not even that it's dirty. Like, dirt is one thing, but just the grease and grime from the fingerprints, it was just too much. Yeah. And a third thing, if I had to think about it, oh, man. Well, this is more of a YouTube thing, just the negativity around it. Actually, no, like I said, you know, even people in person, I'll see people at Jack in the Box or random people asking questions, people at work, all the comments, all the things they read online. Yeah, people say, you know, it doesn't matter what people say. Who cares what people think? But when you hear it all the time on something you bought, you know what I mean? It kind of wears on you a little bit. It's like, come on, man, mind your own business, you know?
It does.
And I haven't been flipped off, but I've heard of people being flipped off.
I've been flipped off.
What? See, that's crazy to me.
I've been flipped off. I was flipped off in my own neighborhood.
Oh
A
man,
guy in a Camaro.
you didn't cut him off. It was just
We were crossing paths, and he made sure he put his window down. He gave me the bird, and he revved his. He had exhaust on his Camaro, and he revved his engine, kind of, just going, "Oh, I got noise that comes out of mine," and I just kept, whatever, dude. Like, that makes you happy.
I want to interview those people. I want to find out, why do you hate it so much?
Yeah, I've had a big rig guy, threw a drink on my truck when I was driving on the freeway.
See, that's crazy to me.
So, what are you gonna do?
Man, there's a lot you can do, but you shouldn't do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's not worth getting locked up over, but still.
It's not. Yeah, it's not worth it. I laugh at. They got bigger issues.
Right.
Is the way I look at it.
Right.
Okay, so relatively, nothing really too bad.
No, not too bad.
There's nothing that you're. Everything you're saying is kind of things that the service issues. I mean that.
If they couldn't fix them, then it'd be an issue, right? If I had a lingering issue, I saw one guy, his was a lemon basically, but they replaced it, right?
Yeah.
So as long as they were able to fix my issues, more than anything, it's an inconvenience.
Yeah. I was at service this morning.
No, there you go.
I was there last week.
And they know me on a first name basis.
Oh yeah. Oh no, they see me and they're waving at me. They're like, yeah, hey, what's up? Yeah, it's me again. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, the service things, Cybertruck, we're kind of beta testers.
Right.
Right. So we knew that going into it.
There
was going to be a lot of little things that needs to be worked out, and so that comes with the territory. Those things will get ironed out, fixed. Hopefully, it gets better in time. So that will be okay. The hate, I think that'll go away over time as more and more Cybertrucks are out on the road.
And the thing is, not that it's just a new design, right? Not just a new model. It's completely different from anything out there, right? So they are trying different things. Yes, they could have tested it more and longer, but man, we've been waiting 4.5 years. You know what I'm saying?
I think people wanted it.
And I could have waited, right? You could have waited, but we wanted it. You know?
Yeah. I don't know if I could have waited.
I couldn't. I mean, on paper we could have, but.
Okay, so those are the things that you don't like. Now, give me, and it doesn't need to be 3. It could be however many. If it's 1, if it's 2, if it's 10, whatever it is. What do you like? What do you love about it?
Oh man, I can't lie. Just the way it looks. It just, when I walk up to it, when I walk away from it, I just love the design. I love how, and this won't last though, because I'm starting to see more and more of them pop up. I like how it's different from anything else you see on the road.
Yeah,
where we live, you'll see EVs, Teslas galore, right? Model Ys, Model 3s, Model S's. You'll see them everywhere. And I just feel like, all right, I have something different. Like I said, it's not going to last. You have 2 million reservations or whatever. And I see one pretty much every day now. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I see one almost every day.
Yeah, so that's not going to last. But right now, it feels good to have something different, something unique. I love Teslas, obviously, so all that is included. And I love the space that we have in here. I have 3 boys. They're very comfortable in here, and I did survey them, and they could watch, their shows. They're always watching Netflix. I can't even enjoy my music because, they want to watch back here after they get some Bluetooth headphones, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I love that about it. I do love how it's a conversation starter,
Definitely is.
We're out there. I met up with my buddy, and he just got his, and we're there taking pictures, just chopping it up. And then somebody just stopped. They came over, a guy and his wife in their Model Y, and they were just asking questions. They're intrigued, they're interested.
Yeah.
It's attention. Like I said, the good attention feels nice, and
the positive feedback.
Yeah.
People curious and just wanting to know things.
Especially when you hear all the negativity.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
It's refreshing. It's refreshing to hear something nice.
It is.
I agree with you.
It is, because I do genuinely feel like people like it. A lot of people do like it, but the negative outweigh the positive.
Yeah.
I love
focus on the one guy that's a jerk when you got 100 people that are nice. So,
right. Yeah. And I love having the bed. I have used it, not frequently, not every day. Matter of fact, I had an extra set of running boards, and I did a giveaway. So I loaded them up in the back, took them to the other guy that owns the Cybertruck. It has come in, useful. I did try to tow just to mess around with my buddy's horse trailer, just to test it out. He has a GMC 2500 Denali, That sounds right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He has one of those,
Yeah,
and
I
he
seen that
uses
video.
it. Oh yeah,
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 yeah. So he's
yeah.
like, yeah, it does everything I needed to. So that was
Good. That
cool.
was a good video.
And so I love having a truck. I love how durable it is. I'm not worried about getting into accidents. And the killer feature, unless you drive it, you won't know how this steer by wire and rear wheel steering. I have to say that it's a tongue twister.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it makes a huge difference with such a large vehicle. I get in my Model Y, and I mean my Model X, and whenever I'm turning left, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's gonna work out.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating, but still, it makes a huge difference. It's so easy to drive, it's nimble, and it's fun. You know what I
It
mean?
really is. It really is. So the way I tell people when people ask me, and it's always that guy or the woman that they are genuinely curious to know my answer, but they're kind of being a little snarky about it, where they ask, "Why did you buy it?" Right? And this is what I always tell them: it's a full-size truck, right? I can do everything that I need to do truck-wise, right? Because I tow my trailer, I haul things for work, I do truck stuff with it. So it does everything I need it to do, but yeah, it's as fast as like a Porsche.
Right.
And it has that nimble, fast, sporty feel because of the steer-by-wire, because of the rear wheel steering. So I 100%.
It does everything you need with flair, right?
Exactly.
With style.
Yeah. Well, it's like what I was talking about earlier. In the past, I always needed a truck, so I had a truck. And then I get tired of truck. I'm tired of driving this big thing, and I want, something sporty, something that feels good. And what do? I go to a sports car, sporty sedan, and then now I miss the utility and the size of a truck, and this solves both of those problems.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah. All right. So you mentioned the steer-by-wire and the rear wheel steering. That is a tongue twister. That is by far the most groundbreaking thing in this vehicle, in this truck, is a steer-by-wire. I think eventually, I really do feel like 10, 15 years from now, I think every car is going to have it. And that's the thing that I appreciate about Tesla. I know a lot of people hate Tesla. I know a lot of people hate Elon. But they push the industry forward.
They do.
And that is exciting to me. Even to the point where, like, I camp. I have a travel trailer. I've been camping for ever.
Mm-hmm.
And even with the fact that Tesla really pushed EVs to the forefront and really made them popular, now you're getting a lot of that technology going into the RV industry.
Mm-hmm.
Travel trailers having motors on them,
Mm-hmm.
and self-propelled, and being able to move them around with the remote control.
Right.
It's like that wouldn't be happening, in my personal opinion, if it wasn't because of Tesla.
Oh no, they made it accessible.
Exactly.
What? Let me ask you, how do you feel about not having Apple CarPlay and Android Auto? How do you feel about that?
There's workarounds, right? I did a video with CarLink Kit where you can set up a device to where you can get it.
A little janky, or okay?
It's okay. It's okay. If you really want CarPlay, that is fine. Like, you could live with it. You will enjoy it.
Right.
Is it as fast as this interface? No, it's not. But it works if that's what you're looking for. For me, I do like Apple CarPlay, but it doesn't bother me. Okay. To be honest with you, it doesn't bother me.
It's not a deal breaker.
No.
Okay.
How about you?
Nah, same. Once you use this and get familiar with it, it's good. It's good. When I transitioned, cars didn't have the sophisticated Apple CarPlay and Android Auto anyway,
Yeah.
Because I went full electric in 2020, where all Tesla. So I didn't really see like the golden age of the Apple CarPlay stuff. So I'm not really missing nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. When all that came out, you were already in Tesla.
Already transitioned.
You didn't even. You don't even know any difference.
Right.
Yeah, no. I've had cars with CarPlay, wireless CarPlay, where you just get in the car and it just automatically, boom, recognizes you, and it has the CarPlay, and yeah, it's nice. I enjoy it, but that wouldn't sway me in whether I would buy a car or not.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
people big deal that though. Some people big deal that.
They do. Now, how do you feel about full self-driving not being in the Cybertruck yet?
All right, so we have to be a little patient because we waited for the truck.
Yeah.
And you also have to understand, again, it's a completely different vehicle. So they have to figure out how it's going to look on this. They have to figure out the projections and the distances, the braking distances. It's a lot to figure out.
Calibrating it all.
Yeah, but I want it. You know, I was sitting in traffic today, and we have the adaptive cruise control, which is cool, but we got the foundation. You know, how much longer? If it's not here within a year, I mean, not that I could do anything, I'll be mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be mad. But that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm right there with you. I want it. I've done multiple road trips. I've done camping trips. I want full self-driving. I don't want to. You paid for it, right?
Right.
We paid for it, so we want it. I understand it takes time because, you know, the way Tesla does their autopilot and full self-driving is that there has to be a certain amount of miles driven in their fleet of vehicles before they release it. And obviously, because Cybertruck's a new vehicle and there's not that many of them out, it's just taking a little longer. But it's coming. You know, on the podcast, you know, we've talked about it's probably going to be released when they do the Robo-Taxi event.
That was supposed to happen.
That was supposed to happen last week.
Okay.
That didn't happen. Got delayed to October. So we're hoping that's what it's going to be. I know Elon first said end of June. That didn't happen. Now he's saying end of August. We're now middle August. So we got another 2 weeks to see if that's going to come true or not. But it's coming. I think before the end of this year.
Here's what concerns me, though. There are people who bought full self-driving way back when they got their Model 3s and didn't get it, right? So they went years without it, and then they had to upgrade hardware, right? Different things like that.
Yeah.
So those kind of stories scare me, make me a little nervous, especially because we didn't really have an option. If we wanted this, we had to have full self-driving. So, you know, a year, and that's about it, man.
Let me ask you this. If it wasn't forced on you through the Foundation series, would you have paid for full self-driving?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I would not buy it. I did the subscription a few months with the Model 3, and then the latest version when I had my Model Y, and it's gotten much better, but it's still not something that I would trust or that I feel comfortable really using without, I mean, it's supervised, right? That's what they always say. It's supervised.
Yeah.
So you do have to monitor it, but it's a little stressful. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to have it, but I wouldn't pay for it. I'd subscribe for like long trips, like you said, things of that nature, but no, I wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would have done the same thing. I would have just done the subscription based. I would have, when I know I'm going on a long trip and I really want it, I'd subscribe for that month and then cancel it.
Right.
And then next time I need it. So now maybe I need it 4 or 5 times in the year, spend the whatever. I don't even know how much it is nowadays.
12? Is it 12 or 8? I don't even know either.
Yeah. But that's what I would have done.
Right.
That's what I would have done. But so I'm right there with you. I did it because I was forced into it. I wanted the truck. I was tired of waiting. I got an early email, and I felt like I had to just jump on it and get the truck. So I paid for it, and I'm still waiting.
It's funny. When I got the email, I still had to wait another 3 days and decide, like, is it worth it? Should I get it? You know what I'm saying? My wife's like, you're going to regret it if you don't. And she's right. She's right. She knows me. I'll obsess over it. You know, I could have had it. Everyone I see, I'm like, oh, that was mine right there, you know.
Well, the way I look at it is, especially because you make content.
Right.
You kind of needed it.
Right.
You know, I wasn't making content before I had the Cybertruck, so I could have just, you know, didn't get it, and life goes on. I think for you, you would have really regretted it because you would have missed out on all that content that you made.
But I didn't get it as early as you or some people. You know, it kind of fizzled down a little bit when I got mine. Yeah. But still, good content. You know what I mean? Can't complain.
You're still getting views.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, because I've noticed there's a few things in your truck that I think we need to talk about. First thing is you eliminated your mirror.
Yeah.
First of all, why? And secondly, explain the whole process as to how you felt with the mirror when you got delivery, and then what were the reasons why you got rid of it?
You hear people talking about how useless that mirror is.
Yes.
And then some of that you think, is that just, you know, for clicks? Is that just people just exaggerating? Nah, man, that mirror was garbage. You know, not even the fact that if the tunnel's closed, you can't see anything.
You can't see
Because
anything.
I was like, you know what, I'll just keep it to see my kids in the back. The view is so, what is it, zoomed in, it looks like. It's hard to see, and the rear view mirror, the actual size of it is small.
It's tiny.
And it's like, what is it even doing here? So I say, you know what, I'm still not used to using the screen though. I'm still not used to it.
Thank you.
But I said, you know what, I'd rather open this up and have a clear view. And I'm using that anyway down here, right? So I said, let me just get rid of it. I don't know why, and this has been beat to death. They didn't put the rear camera in that mirror, right? They were so smart with the engineering of so many different parts of this, right? But they're like, nah, skip it. So I'd just rather have the open view, you know? You still have yours.
I still have mine. I complain about that mirror. Everything you just said, exactly. I feel exactly the same. And it's if anybody that watches my podcast, anytime that mirror comes up, I get so frustrated because exactly what you said. They've done so many great things with this truck, with the technology. All they needed to do was put a freaking $25 screen in that mirror, and I'd be happy.
Right.
And they didn't do it.
Right.
I just don't get it. And maybe ultimately they just wanted you to do this, get rid of it. I would like the screen.
And the other thing, I would love to have a camera on the top of the truck so that you can see when the bed is closed.
Yep.
You know, your view is the street, the ground.
Well,
you know,
I
mean, when the bed is open.
I also suggested if they had a screen there should have been the camera that's looking at the rear of the truck, but also you could swipe or switch or do something to where you could see inside the bed even when the tunnel is closed.
Yep.
With night vision.
Right.
I think that would have been really cool. Because now you put cargo back there, you put something back there, you're able to monitor what's in the rear of your truck.
And of course, there's going to be aftermarket stuff out there. But you know what? Whenever it comes,
yes, $100,000 for a car.
Exactly. Yeah. What else did you notice in here?
Well,
you said a few things.
So there's one more. Another thing that gets me irritated. You have your garage clicker.
Oh my gosh.
See it? Yeah, it's up there. It's up there.
Yep. Yep.
That drives me crazy. That once again, I'm in one of Tesla's flagship vehicles, $100,000 car, and I have to have my garage remote clicker, whatever you want to call it, on my visor.
Or pay a subscription to MyQ.
Yes, exactly. I shouldn't have to do that.
Give us HomeLink. Do you know?
They have it in other vehicles. Why don't they have it in the Cybertruck?
Yeah, that is annoying. And to the point where I was thinking, I want to get home. I want to get the MyQ now. I might as well get it because I want to be able to, you know, they sell you with the other features. You can open and close it, you know, remotely, yada, yada, yada. But if I just had HomeLink, I'd be fine. You know what I mean? I don't need that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if it was maybe some kind of contract agreement they had, something, you know.
I mean, the branding's on there, right?
Right.
When you go into the menu system, here, we'll just show that real quick, if you don't mind.
No, go for it.
So right there, you know, they want you into that interface.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I'm sure there's a kickback.
Probably.
You know, I'm sure there's a kickback, and I know it's business. I don't blame them.
Can I get through?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? So those are the little things, and we were talking about it off camera, how I have the MagBack wireless phone charging mount, and when I did the video on that, Zach mentioned that once again, it's a $100,000 car. Why wasn't that built in? Why are we dealing with this slow charging that you mentioned? You have a cord.
Mm-hmm.
$100,000 car, and we're still using cords.
Yep.
It just a lot of things like that are annoying. All right, so Cobra, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for coming out, bringing your Cybertruck. We did 2 videos today, but I also appreciate you allowing me to interview you because, like I said at the beginning of the video, I haven't done that yet. I haven't interviewed anybody that actually owns a Cybertruck. So it was really interesting to get your thoughts on everything Cybertruck.
So overall, do you say we had similar likes and dislikes?
I think everything you said was pretty much on point with what I think.
Yeah.
You know, with the mirror, with the MyQ, with the FSD, with the steer-by-wire. One thing I didn't ask you that we didn't touch on, air suspension. How do you feel about the air suspension?
I like it. Like, it's a smooth ride. There are times where I'm at the light and then it adjusts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But overall, I like it, and it actually feels at times smoother than my Model X,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it's cool to be adjustable. I would wish that once it was in a high ride height, it would stay that way.
Yes.
I wish you can customize that and control it. It auto lowers, and I even turn that off, but it still does it, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one thing, but I love the ride. It feels good.
You know the way to get around that, right?
How?
Go into the off-road mode, put it in Baja, and then you can ride at higher heights.
Just around here at all?
No, you can go on the freeway.
Yeah?
You can go up to 80, 90 miles per
I
hour.
got to play with Baja mode.
Yeah.
I didn't go with y'all that
Yeah,
night.
you
That
gotta
night.
go
That
that
early morning. Yeah.
Yeah, you were smart. I got 2 hours of sleep that day.
Oh, damn. I knew it was. But it was a opportunity of a lifetime, right?
It was
yeah.
fun. It was a lot of fun. Once again, Cobra, appreciate it. I'm going to
Appreciate
go ahead
you,
and
man.
leave his information down below in the description so you guys can subscribe if you're not already, which you should be. So, appreciate it, man.
I appreciate
To
you
the next
too.
one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.